15 to Kenosha and became a killer.
A white, Trump-supporting, MAGA-loving, Blue Lives Matter social media partisan, 17 years old, picks up a gun, drives from one state to another with the intent to shoot people.
A 17-year-old boy who drove across state lines with an AR-15 and started shooting people up, including a guy with a skateboard.
Kyle Rittenhouse, who has killed protesters, unarmed protesters.
Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old that went with a weapon into the middle of protests and then provoked people and then shot and killed them.
Kyle Rittenhouse is the enemy.
A boy from out of state drives up to the state with an AR-15 around his neck, shoots and kills a couple of people, shooting wildly, running around, acting like rent-a-cop.
Drove across state lines armed with a rifle to go and shoot people.
What a dark, dystopian scene where a 17-year-old boy is carrying around a rifle, running around and gunning down protesters.
Remember, the judge in Rittenhouse case said you couldn't even refer to the people that were killed as victims. You could refer to them as rioters. Here you have a 17-year-old boy who was driven by his mother across state lines with an automatic weapon. Frankly, she should have been detained for child endangerment, to go to a protest where he says he's going to help the police. I mean, it was ridiculous. He walks across with his automatic weapon, and the police just look at him. And the majority of the people that were protesting were African American, but the white men that were killed were protesting in solidarity with the black people. So it reminded me of the civil rights movement.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. No, it's not a semi-automatic, not an automatic weapon. It's a semi-automatic weapon. His mom did not drive him across state lines. He was in legal possession of the weapon. Aside from that, you nailed it. Now, please go to my website, LarryElder.com, to vote for Salem Culture Warrior of the Year. Click on the banner in the front page. You can vote for one of the nominees for Culture Warrior of the Year. The nominees are Ron DeSantis, Glenn Youngkin, Mike Lindell, Molly Hemingway, Jason Whitlock, Carl Jackson. Voting will be open until December the 10th. Just go to my website, LarryElder.com. Joy Reid, the bigoted broadcaster on MSNBC Hee-Haw, which I watch so you don't have to.
Want to know why critical race theory exists? The actual law school theory that emphasizes that supposedly colorblind laws in America often still have racially discriminatory outcomes? Then look no further than the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. Earlier today, the teenager accused of murdering 2 men and wounding a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year, took to the stand in his own defense. And the circumstances are almost built for an actual CRT course. The white, now 18-year-old, faces an almost
built for an actual CRT course.
Entirely white jury of his peers, with the exception of one black man.
I can't take any more. Almost entirely white jury of its peers. Almost got a black guy there. You know how many all-black juries there have been in Washington, D.C., sitting in judgment frequently on for white defendants? Remember when Oliver North was convicted of, among other things, obstruction by lying to Congress? Was tried by a jury in Washington, D.C., all blacks. It was not uncommon. And on appeal, he never raised the issue about whether or not he got a fair trial because the jury was all black. Now, there's an interesting piece in WorldNet Daily. Headline, Kyle and Trayvon, 17 and unequal. And talks about the differences in the way they're covering these two trials, even though they were both 17 years old at the time. Florida state prosecutor about Trayvon Martin said, quote, that child had every right to be where he was. That child had every right to be afraid of a strange man following him. Did that child not have the right to defend himself from that strange man? Al Sharpton. We can put a black man in the White House. We can't walk a black child through the gated area in Sanford, Florida. The child was a half foot taller, by the way, than Rittenhouse. But nobody calls him a child. $800 a year, that's how much the average family puts back in their pocket by ditching Verizon. You get the same coverage on the same great 5G networks, but half the cost.